Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Nightsky Sanctum. This is season 2, episode something, probably in the teens, 15, something like that. Anyhow, it has been a really wild ride since we came back. We have Azalewin back. Welcome. And we are going to quickly let everybody know who we are and what characters we're playing before we get started with tonight's session. Let's start with Morningstar.
Well, thank you, my dear. And hello, darlings. I am Morningstar, and today I shall be playing Elise. She is a Median Psyche, and that is a human-looking mind witch for those who are unfamiliar. And she likes to use her powers to ensure that everything goes according to her wicked, selfish plan.
The best plans. All right, Megan.
Hi, I'm Megan. I play Seth in our coven. They are a nereid, so they are a fish person. They have very obvious fish characteristics, just think shape of water. They specialize in shape-shifting magic, and they are reckless, haunted, and now absolutely devastated because their familiar's been taken.
Andrea.
Yeah, I'm Andrea. I play Hollis. She is a Gob Baba, which means she is kind of like Baba Yaga, if you think about that. Let's see. Yeah, she's just kind of creepy and weird and has claws and teeth and short and green.
And Azalewin, welcome back.
Yeah, I am Azalin. I am playing Yarrow, who is a satyr arcanist. So she's got big horns, nice hairy hooves, and she has a beautiful familiar named Jean, who is a phoenix. And she is currently reckless and unstable as usual. So, and very much sad that Ribbert is taken. So.
Yeah, we'll do a little flashback to let everybody know how that happened. To recap a little bit of the tiniest bit of what happened in the last session, which if you missed it, you should go back and watch it. Hollis had received a demon via possession from a very particular underworld to try to help him out.
I volunteered.
It was a voluntary possession, but after a while, the extremely powerful demon was inadvertently trying to force itself back out of Hollis's body, as they weren't a celestial match. But luckily, the coven found a body that was a perfect match, and after a great struggle that very much seemed like Hollis was going to bite the big one and finally end up in their afterlife, the group was able to use some wild magic to expel the demon from her body into a new suitable host. So he is now in an Asterian's body and hanging out with his lich friend. And everyone else has had some time to recover. So they decided that after all this terrible horribleness that had been going on, they would have a nice night out with some of their friends at House of the Ram. They do throw very, very nice parties in their congregation house. So they went over and were given a feast in their honor, because they're always welcome guests with House of the Ram after all of the undertakings they've done to help them, such as giving back one of their lost children. Oh, which reminds me, that was one of the things that happened when they were doing their wild magic. There was a complication, and all of the remaining children, all the 11 children that they still have at their coven stead, had their magic torn from their bodies. So they are now fully mundane children. They're still fantastic tap dancers.
That's
but,
good.
But they're not tap dancing with alacrity anymore. They're having to do it the natural way. So thank you to all the new followers. It's been too many to keep up with, but please join chat and say hi. We try to chat as much as we possibly can while we're playing the game. I'm going to quickly test and make sure that our Hand of Fate is working. It appears to be working. So hopefully that works for everybody else. I was unable... The thing that seemed to be causing problems was putting a limit on it. So I had to remove the limit. So
tell them that, darling.
So I hope that doesn't cause too many problems. The way the Hand of Fate works is no matter how things are going in the game, a person who might roll use this their channel points, which we call essence, to match our game. And if they were to use those points on a Hand of Fate, they would get a die roll, and that die roll would affect the situation that's ongoing. So sometimes it can help pull them out of a devastating situation. Other times it can dig them far, far deeper into that hole. And I think that's what happened. That was part of what happened last week.
That mushroom.
Oh yeah. We lost a coven contact almost as soon as we gained them from a bedroll. That's right. All right. So you all are having a very good time in the basement of the giant black church in the middle of midnight, otherwise known by the normies as Manhattan. And you are, eating a feast in your honor. And how many of the children do you think you would have brought along for this one? They are known to the rest of the House of the Ram.
Children at a party? They'll ruin everything.
You know
We
that...
need one to bring you drinks at least.
Puck does that already. He's very friendly.
Yeah, I think Puck likes all of you very much at this point.
All the kids are just putting hair all over Puck's chest, like flowers in Puck's hair.
Yeah, are you willing to bring them along? I do know that House of the Ram, they treat their children like tiny adults. So, they are generally allowed into their parties as long as they're not too racy, which this one is not.
No orgy room this time.
Yeah, so that will determine the rating of this party, whether it's a G-rated party or a PG-13 rated party is the minimum they'll handle.
They don't go lower than that. No clowns, no pin the tail on the donkey.
Well, not the right kind of clowns. But as the music is thumping from the basement and you are all eating, Ripert has found its way outside into a nice secluded puddle and is just chilling, as Ripert does. When Seth, you feel like somebody's watching you, but you immediately recognize that it's not you, it's Ripert. And just as you notice that, you see a wave of white gas pass over him, and his eyes close heavily, and then he's completely unconscious, just completely disconnected from you.
Oh no.
And
He's gonna get frantic at this point.
And that's when we go back, we return to the inside at the party, and Seth, you immediately know that something bad has happened. This is, and all of the rest of you with your familiars know that you don't get disconnected from your familiar. They could be on the other side of the world, and you'd still be able to see through their eyes and hear what they're hearing. But Seth is completely disconnected from Ribert. So what does this look like?
I have the haunted trait, so I feel like Seth's gonna feel like this is all their fault.
Oh yeah, that
They're
makes.
they're gonna kind of spiral a little bit.
Okay. Does anyone notice Seth spiraling?
If we're all still bonded telepathically,
Oh, that's
I
a good
feel like-
point.
I feel like we'd instantly be like, we'd probably feel instantly when Rupert was cut off too.
Yeah, if Seth, are you cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So what does this look like to them when some number of them look over at Seth to get your reaction?
I dropped the shrimp cocktail I'm currently holding.
Mm.
Oh Lord, it's
Oh
bad.
no!
Now you know it's serious.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Seth is just kind of gonna be frozen for a little bit, kind of panicked, like, oh, beep, like what's going on? Like, but they're gonna frantically just try to make eye contact with anyone in the coven, knowing that they have the connection. Just like we need to go. We need to do something. Where is he?
Yeah, I'm gonna say height-wise, the first person you make contact with is Puck, and then shortly thereafter, Yarrow, as Hollis is probably trying not to get under anyone's feet as they're rushing to assist.
Yeah, Yarrow like frivolously uses alacrity, and I'm gonna use an essence to get there to to Seth like immediately. Like, oh my god, a friend is gone.
I'm just imagining Yarrow like alacrity right into a bear hug, just like it's okay.
Like, oh my god.
Nice.
Elise doesn't head over it first because it's a frog, even if it is a familiar. So she doesn't care. But she does know that it's vital that all of us have our familiars. So she wanders over to join him eventually, but not before she gets a drink. 2 drinks first. One in each hand.
Okay. Hollis?
I think Hollis is probably gonna head for the door
Okay.
and start using her grimoire ability to like sense for the dead, basically, just to like, well, if he's not dead, that's a good sign. So just to like, you know, peek around kind of in the newly dead of the area and make sure that Rupert is not among them.
Okay.
No ghost frogs.
No ghost.
No ghost
Checking for
frog.
new arrivals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have an add-on for like Speak to the Dead that lets you do it from a distance? Or are you just scanning the underworld?
Yeah, I'm just kind of scanning. It's not quite. Oh, my mouse died. Here we go. Trying to find the grimoire abilities, Speak to the Dead, and Underworld Affinity. It also let my grimoire senses are underworld spirits or resonances nearby.
Okay.
So if there was like a new spirit or a new resonance of a familiar, because I would assume they have a very specific kind of resonance. They don't seem like regular dead frogs.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would be different.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you sort of reach out. What does that look like? How would you describe what Hollis is doing?
Yeah, so she would probably just make sure that she got out of the door and looked around, obviously, for, squished frogs. And then just probably when there is not a squished frog, kind of bend down, touch the asphalt, and just kind of reach out with her senses. I kind of feel like she probably uses her sense of smell in this kind of a situation, so she's just sniffing around like a
Yeah.
weird little,
Yeah, I think that makes
you know,
sense.
goblin.
Yeah. Yeah, you're sniffing around all the like cracks and crevices, all the little watery spots that are
Mhm.
where the sidewalk is kind of cracked away from the edge of the building. And yeah, you find all these like little watery spots. Um, you can't smell anything unusual coming from the underworld here, but you do smell like a sweet, like a sickly sweet smell that as soon as it hits your nostrils, you immediately go nasally numb.
Mm.
And so you think you're in the right area.
Okay.
Puck is out there with you. As soon as he opens the door, his form changes completely, and he looks like a mundane butler with a tail and tails.
Belvedere.
Yeah, yeah, kind of a svelte Mr. Belvedere. And yeah, he just pops the door open for you, and when you look back inside, the actual goings on of the room are completely glamored from you. It just you can't see anyone's faces, things like that. Apparently, there's some kind of new glamour on the building that prevents eavesdroppers and onlookers from seeing what's really going on.
Cool.
Clever,
Well,
especially in such a location.
I will telepathically let everybody know that good news, Robert is still alive wherever he is. So, and I will let them know about the weird gas and ask if Yara wants to come take a sniff and see if they can figure out what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, you're always like, we're gonna find this river, and she kind of walks over and gets real down low because she's definitely a little taller and gives a good whiff to see what the resonance might be.
Okay.
Little nostrils flaring.
Yeah, it doesn't have any particular resonance to it. You do it kind of you kind of get some up in your tear duct, and you feel your eye sort of droop a little bit. Yeah, and some numbness sort of come into your face a little bit. But it goes away pretty quickly, and yeah, it doesn't seem to have any kind of magical resonance at all.
Could this just be good old fashioned herbalism?
Very possibly.
You're just smelling New York. Oh, me.
It just
Rather.
burns.
It's just like a cloth with chloroform. They've just dropped it on him. That's what the white was. It wasn't fog. It was just the cloth covering his face.
That's that's just regular chloroform.
Doesn't Puck know a good amount about herbalism in that? Didn't he take
Um,
some of our poison last time to analyze?
I did.
Yeah, and the reason that worked out for him so well is because of his Fey origin.
Oh yeah, it was fake
It was
poison.
a Fey related
specifically.
poison, yeah. Right.
We need a green witch.
Oh, where's the green witch when you need one?
I'm gonna say let's start a 6 o'clock. That Ribert reaches their destination. So Ribert is on the move.
So, does anybody at House of the Ram have a bloodhound as a familiar?
I mean, Seth could just become a bloodhound.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Nice.
So
I
I'll
think
just like
Seth might have a good idea of what Ribbit smells like as well.
It's true.
That's
it's
very true.
this
Yeah.
is not his brand of mucus.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's actually a huge benefit because Ribert is a chimeric familiar, so he actually does have a truly unique scent. with all his various poisons and abilities and things like that. So, yeah. I'm going to say it'll definitely be increased effect on anything you do that's related to his scent.
I'm down to try that, if that's
Okay.
cool. Seth would like to make their way to Hollis and Yara outside. I don't know where Elise is right now. Probably just finishing a cigarette in the bathroom.
She's come out to join everyone. Again, 2 drinks in her hands, right there on the streets of midnight.
All right.
So, yeah.
Who's
so
going to
I'd
stop her?
like to shift into a bloodhound and I guess maybe focus for some kind of roll to see if I can pick anything up.
Okay, let's see. I think focus is a bit more on the magical side of things.
Okay.
I still think that the increased effect would help. I do think target would probably give you the greatest effect, but if focus works for you, I think that'll still give you a pretty good effect.
You can do target or survey or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the area. So
just whatever you think it looks more like in the fiction, like are you doing a ritual or are you, since you're a bloodhound, I feel like target is kind of more of the sniffer-emy way.
I feel like that. I feel like that makes the most sense because focus, yeah, like there's nothing really to focus on other than the smell. But I feel like that leans more towards something physical. So I'll go with a target.
Okay.
And I would like to pop 2 willpower just to be safe.
For an extra die or increased effect?
For an extra die, because
Okay.
I only have 1 dot in there. So
I'm gonna say this is risky and greater effect.
Okay.
Let's hope our dice roller works today. It does! Whoa. Well, it does, but it does not like us. Okay. The smell of this chemical that as you're following the scent, it just gets into your nose so bad that it numbs your scent receptors. Just from following it closely. And yeah, so I think that's basically going to knock out your sort of bloodhound abilities. You are able to track him across the street to knock off Starbucks, but that's about it. It is at that point, once you're across the street, people also are getting in your way. What kind of bloodhound do you look like?
Big old floppy ears for sure. Like I'm tripping over my own ears.
All right, yeah. So I think
probably basic.
Yeah, I think people are stopping to pet you and look for your owner.
Could have turned into a dog with a service vest on.
Working on the job.
Yeah, so you're getting you're getting like petted, and people are trying to like hold you back, and people are calling for your owner and things like that. And then once you get a chance, you just notice that your scent receptors are wiped out. You can't even really smell these people that are around
Which
you.
is probably for the best, because these are New Yorkers.
Thank you for the follow. Yeah, go ahead.
Do we have to be at the Covenstead to do Rite of the Daglock?
No, not at all. Just need to spend a Fey Fruit or a downtime action.
I can do that.
And if we did want a ritual space, I'm sure that House of the Rab would be willing to let us have a corner of the room.
Yeah, I think you're right. They are some of your best allies. Okay.
We'll just put on a show for dinner. There you go.
Right. So Rite of the Daglock is either going to lead you immediately to something, or it's going to start an undertaking to get to it. I think because we're already on a clock, let's say this starts an undertaking.
That makes sense.
So, I can put you in front of your first obstacle based on the roll. Rite of the Daglock gives you +1 die. Okay. Just doing some mathematical acrobatics. 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 -1, that kind of thing. So, you got to give me a minute. This is some advanced math. Okay.
You're too pretty to do math. It's fine.
All right, here we go.
At least if you need to use your hands, you got 2 extra in your beard now, so you can go to 12.
Ooh.
Yeah, I have, what is that? Fehu and Horse are the 2 in my beard.
You look fabulous.
Thank you. Okay.
I'm a beard stylist now.
Yep. That was done by Andrea's hand. Okay. That is a 6 for the engagement roll. Let me get to my engagement rolls section. Make sure I get this exactly right. On a 6, you're in a controlled position when the action starts.
Yeah.
A whole horse in my beard. That is correct. Luba, thank you. You are. It's amazing. I have powers. Okay, great. So let's see. Controlled position. So what does your Daglock look like, and how are you using it?
I assume it would be something of Ribert's. Or like something that he likes to sit on a lot. Or yeah, I don't know.
Seth, do you
Maybe
think
he
you...
left some slime on Seth's shoulder.
What do you think?
Well, when we've done a few trips, he's enjoyed his spa time. So I imagine in our room or wherever resting arrangements that we have that he's got a little bowl of muck. So I'm gonna make sure I give Hollis that bowl.
Yeah, you guys are in the middle of Manhattan, so going all the way...
Yeah, I don't have it.
Yeah, going all the way back to your Covenstead would probably mostly fill that clock.
You know what? I could have a little baggie of, like, crickets.
Aww. Rivert's
like
crickets.
Little travel snacks.
Yeah. Alright. So how are you able to use that, Hollis?
Yeah, we can like put him in a little baggie and tie him up with a string and dangle it like a pendulum so it can lead us where it wants to go.
Aw. It's trying to go right back to his mouth. Alright. It takes you north several blocks, and you've been through this area before, but you don't recognize any like particular factions that operate out of this area that you're aware of.
It was just some kid who's like, "Ooh, frog," and put it in his pocket.
Who just happened to have knockout chemicals that work well enough to disconnect a familiar
kid,
from
okay?
their... Okay. Okay. You turn a corner, and immediately the pendulum starts swinging wildly to the east, and in a very surprising way, like nearly jerks itself out of your hand. And you look in that direction and up, and you see CTS on the building. It's this interestingly shaped exterior. It's kind of shaped like a V. So it has 2 kind of wings that go out to the side. It's 15 stories tall. and there are probably 50 or 60 cars in the parking lot, and that pendulum is swinging directly toward its front door.
It's a CVS. What?
So they have really long receipts. That's what.
that's your obstacle. No, it is. It looks like a church. The name of the building. It's got a sun symbol. It's Corpus Templi Solaris.
Oh no.
Is
Those bastards again.
the building. There is a guard station, but you would only need to bypass that if you were in a vehicle. So you're basically able to walk right up to their door if you wanted to. Let's see.
No, this was down here this entire time. We could have set this on fire.
Yeah, no, I'm like, I'm feeling arson in my bones for today.
I'm feeling
Looking a little less.
Well, we need to get the
charred.
frog out first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so as far as undertaking type, this is probably a rescue mission. And as far as method and detail, thank you for the arson, Isabella.
I feel it in my bones.
Double arson. Awesome. Sorry, it takes a second to reset. Okay. So, yeah, this looks like Corpus Templi Solaris's headquarters. And you see there's 3 sets of double doors at the front. The one on the far right has a sign that says lobby. The one on the far left has a sign that says testing, and the one in the middle does not have a sign. It looks like it's the one that seems to be the most used. People look like they're just going home after a day of work, and so you see a few people, get out of their cars and go walking in through that center doorway. It looks like they're scanning some kind of cards to get access to the building.
So do we hide out and steal somebody's cards, or do we?
We don't need to hide out. We can just make someone open the door, darling. But which door do we want to go through? Which direction do we want to aim ourselves before I start twisting these weird little human animals?
So left is testing, middle's, I guess, the employee
Residential.
entrance.
Yeah.
Residential, and right is the lobby.
Yeah.
So,
Is there one that the pendulum likes more than the other ones?
From this distance where you all are, it seems to have indicated this, and then it's just kind of drooped since then. If anything, you think it might have been identifying the center door, but it is the center, so.
Yeah.
My instinct says testing.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
I would assume the same, if just because. Well, why else would they steal them?
Mm-hmm. Does anybody know much about Corpus Templi Solaris and their goings on? I think you guys have a negative relationship with them.
I mean, we definitely have a negative relationship with them.
Yeah.
Aren't they the ones we stole the children from?
The children and their first vessel.
Yes,
They're boats.
that boat that we
Yeah.
still technically own.
Yeah, but it's being held for you by the Vile Legion.
Yes.
But they
We
like
haven't
us, so
spoken
it's
to in
fine.
ages.
a -2 relationship with them.
Nice. So there's a good chance there's like not quite an APB out on you guys, but something similar to that. So yeah, you definitely wouldn't really want to look like yourselves for any kind of infiltration. There's probably like posters on their walls that say, you know, keep an eye out for these people. They've been passing bad checks or whatever.
Well, if we get me a megaphone and I just blind them with the words of power, just blind, you know. Although that's risky considering my track record with those.
We're all blind now.
Yeah.
I have the witch's intuition thing that I could try to figure out which door we need to go into.
Yeah, that's true. If you're willing to spend it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not written on this sheet, but you wrote it up somewhere.
Yeah, it is, if necessary, it's a focus roll, but generally it's going to just,
an essence?
yeah, it's just going to, one essence, and that's between 3 items, that's just 1 essence.
Okay.
The center door seems to be the one, so do you want to describe what kind of little ritual you do for that?
Yeah, so Hollis does kind of everything with her hands. So she's gonna rub her hands together and then she's gonna put them over her eyes, basically play like peekaboo. And when she opens her eyes, she can just kind of feel which one's the right one to take.
They all seem fine. They all feel pretty good to you, but the center door just gives you like a slightly easier feeling. That so you feel like you'd probably get good information from any of them, but the center door might get you there the fastest.
Okay. I will relay that information.
That is Seth receiving telepathic communication. Hand maneuver.
It has been relayed.
Very subtle.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll like a 1 die fortune roll and just see if there's any of the general like day-to-day practices of Corpus Templi Solaris that any of you know.
We might know a little bit just because the children might have passed some information on.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. So you do definitely know that they are involved in I keep thinking the word retraining, but that's not quite right. They're brainwashing.
Re-education.
Yeah, re-education. That's it. They're big in the re-education business. And they are known for doing testing of mundanes. Basically, they will tell a mundane person if they have the ability to join their church, benefit from their church and their practices, and whether or not they have the abilities to move up through the ranks. So they're a lot like Scientology. They do testing. They test you for their powers that are not like witches' powers. They basically run an electrical current through your body, and it tells them whether or not you have potential to become a powerful member of Corpus.
Oh my god.
And it's not the best way of being able to sniff out who is actually a witch, but it can also do that sometimes. So they always turn away witches once they know they're witches.
What a pity.
So that's probably what you would find if you went in through the testing door. They're always excited to test new people, though, so... As long as you don't look like Yarrow, Seth, or Hollis, they would probably test you.
Well, there's not really much point in me going and getting tested either.
Yeah,
Not going to end well for us.
I feel like if there's any of you that they know best, it's probably Hollis. But second best is probably Elise. And Seth would be their best known, but Seth is a shapeshifter, so they're like they have Elise and a Hollis and Yarrow. They haven't met Yarrow much, I don't think. So yeah, you guys haven't done very many attacks on Corpus with Yarrow in tow.
Well, get
Do
ready.
they know all
Your
of our
first time,
familiars?
darling.
So
You know what? I have. It's a kind of a long-winded idea, but I have patient transformation, which means I can mimic an inanimate object.
mm-hmm.
So if I just make myself into a random set of keys and we yeet me over to the entrance, someone's probably gonna be like, "Oh, someone dropped their keys."
Yeah, take you in, put you in a lost and found box or something.
Yeah, then I just make my voice sneakily in, and I can unlock or find a way for everyone else to get in.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's unnecessarily complicated in the best possible way.
Exactly. Awesome. Okay. I'm gonna say that's controlled and increased effect.
Okay.
I don't even know if it requires an action roll as much as maybe just a fortune roll to see sort of how fast you're able to get picked up.
I think it's just a fortune roll. It says 1 to 5 essence, but it doesn't indicate a any kind of other trait I need to roll inside of.
Yeah. I'm gonna say. So what do you look like? You said like a key ring with many keys on it, or
Yeah, I'll be a key ring with a couple keys and a little frog keychain charm
okay,
for my buddy.
all right. I'm gonna say that's gonna be a 2-die fortune roll.
Okay.
Let's see how that comes out. Okay, partial success. I'm gonna say it does take some time, so we're gonna fill in 1 tick on the Ribbert clock.
The frog clock.
The frog clock. And you get picked up and carried into the testing door.
Sorry, so because of the fortune roll, how much essence do I put? 'Cause it says 1 to 5, just for the explanation of
Yeah.
No, sorry. I completely read that wrong. 1 essence is patient transformation.
I was gonna say,
transformation.
I was like, I can't think of anything that would have been more than 1, but maybe it would have. So, yeah, let's see, patient. Yeah, okay, yep. 1 essence.
Right.
Nice.
Not thinking straight. My boy's
It's okay.
missing.
Awesome. Okay, yeah. So, you are you get passed around between 2 or 3 people, and you finally come to rest in a lost and found box.
What a fun evening.
Among other sets of keys, a taser, you know, you're on like a ski mask, and you know some other odds and ends in the box. But yeah, you're in good company. But
Turns
you
out those are also
shapeshifters.
shifters.
Yeah, they're very patient.
Just a bunch of guys.
And yeah, you get the box gets put under the front desk, and you go into complete darkness in a little clear plastic bin, or near complete darkness.
This is where they've locked the drawer that I'm in. I'm just stuck.
Yeah, you're a little lucky. You're just in a little plastic bin they shoved under the desk.
Okay, so you said it's dark. It's underneath, so I can't. Can I see?
You can see out, you can see there's like a little sheet of plastic that covers the floor back here to make it so their chair can roll around nicely. You can hear people chatting, telling each other that it's a slow day, and one of them's thinking about, leaving early, and the other one is a complete narc about it and says that they have to stay their whole shift or they won't get credit for it. But yeah, they're not talking about money or anything. They're just talking about like weird churchy stuff.
I was just curious how much I can actually kind of glean from my surroundings when I'm in this state, because I don't physically have eyes. So.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got you can see
You do have teeth though.
Yeah, you can see and hear. Your eyes and ears are just camouflaged into your the thing that you've turned into.
Okay.
Maybe there's a pair of googly eyes on one of the keys.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be cute.
Or you could be the little frog on the keychain.
Yeah, the little frog keychain, just like. So is anyone at the desk that I've been put under?
Yeah. There's a lady. She looked like she was probably in her early 30s. That kicked back and sat down at the desk. She's the one that's kind of being rude to the other one who said they wanted to leave early.
Okay. Zeph would like to become a small octopus now in this container, out of sight, so they can pop the lid off the container and pull one of the cords on her desk, whether it unplugs or knocks over a computer, a light, or something, just so there's a distraction.
Okay. Yeah.
Or an attempt to make a distraction.
Great. Yeah, I'm gonna say that you're down there hidden enough, making little enough noise that you have no problem getting out, squeezing out through the little hole, and getting back there to the little power strip that's under the desk. So yeah, you can start. What do you wanna? What's the intention? I guess.
I guess what I'd like to do. Well, yeah. So Seph's gonna reach from the box to one of the cables in the power strip and just pull the cable out ever so slightly, so that way it's not enough in to actually work without turning the board off.
Okay.
So that they're going to have to come underneath and plug the cable back in.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you unplug the monitor to her computer, and she immediately starts cursing and flicking the switch on the monitor and trying to get it to come back on. And it actually takes her several minutes before she realizes that it's the power cord that's the issue. But yeah, she starts climbing under the desk, and she's like right next to you and hasn't noticed that you're there.
At this point, Zeph would like to shift again and just become a fly and like get on top of her head, like in the hair, light enough that she can't feel, so when she sits back up, they have a better vantage point.
Nice. All right. Yep. She gets it plugged back in. It sparks. And you're up in her hair, and she sits back down and continues doing some data entry. It looks like she has about 15 forms in front of her. People's names, date of birth, and other information about how they did on their testing, that she's just putting the information from the paper into her computer, and giving them, their like official designations as to like what level they are. But yeah, she's completely unaware of you.
Okay. Trying to think of what else I can do right now.
You could turn into an elephant and smash her to nothing.
Well,
You're already on
You
her
really
Oh,
do have every option to do whatever you want.
head.
Blue whale, blue whale.
Oh, now
Turn
that
into a jellyfish near the electric outlet and see what happens there. Or an electric eel.
I'm wondering, there's two ways I want to go with this, but I don't know which one would be more fun.
Mm.
Heck, we're gonna go with the reckless trait.
Mm.
Zeph's already not thinking straight with this. Now that they're a fly on top of this person's head, they're gonna crawl down the back of their head, kind of into their shirt, and once they're there, they're gonna attempt to shift again into a smaller octopus and just choke them out of their desk.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, from underneath the clothes. Cool. Yeah, what do you want to use for that?
I guess. You know what? I'll do enigmatic form because if she tries to swat at me when I'm moving down, she might feel me. So I'll do that right away so that way she can just kind of. Actually, no, that's not going to matter because that's a reaction.
Yeah, I was thinking action-wise, like brawl, maybe?
Action-wise, Brawl, I think is more appropriate.
Yeah,
I'm
awesome.
being aggressive and like I'm inflicting something on her.
All right. I'm going to say, because you're sort of in her clothes and in a form octopus, that she's going to have a really hard time, unsticking you. I'm going to say that's going to be, and you're behind her, controlled and greater effect. All right, partial success. So, let me grab that information because it's controlled, so you have more options than usual on a partial success. Okay, on controlled on a partial success, you can try again with the position becoming risky. You can take a minor complication, take minor harm, or you can withdraw and try a different approach, or have reduced effect.
I would like to try a different approach.
Okay.
So I will do a spring and attempt to bite her as a snake and try to do some kind of paralytic poison so she just kind of drops down under her desk.
Okay.
The point is to try to take her out quietly
Right.
and like so that she doesn't know where everyone else in the cubicle is around her.
Okay, so I think shape-shifting again and trying to poison
I can
her.
be bouncing S's for all this because I know I'm shifting a lot, so if it makes sense, I can be taking essence on this.
Well,
That
I
makes
think maybe you're just a little too slimy, or she's sweaty, and you can't get a good hold on her with your suckers. And so we'll go up to risky, and then that still allows you to use brawl.
Okay.
But you feel her foot kick as she's she's leaning back and trying to wiggle free from you, and she kicks the box of lost and found items over, and so you see the taser fall out onto the floor in front of her.
Okay.
Right.
Is she making a reach for it?
Not yet, but it is an option depending on the next roll. That's why we're in risky now.
Risky is when things get fun.
Instead of even just biting her, I could just try to be a snake and like strangle her around different texture. So I have to roll again with brawl, or
Yeah.
I'm
gonna say this is risky standard. All right, that is a partial success. At risky, got moderate damage. Position becomes desperate. 2 ticks on a clock. I think, this is just going to take a long time to knock her out. And so we're going to add 2 ticks to the Ribbert clock.
Okay.
But
We're fully done at this point.
But yeah, she goes down and she's unconscious, laying on the floor right next to the taser. If somebody looks, they might think she accidentally tased herself.
Perfect. Okay. So, now that that's out of the way, I'm going to impersonate her and take her key card.
Ah, nice.
And I'll leave her slumped under the desk. So if anyone comes to her desk, they think she's passed out there. Otherwise, like, if I push in her chair and she's completely, like, underneath, then it's just like, okay, that's just Sandy walking around the office.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to read what that says. Is that all right if I do that, or now that it's desperate and risky, it's not going to work?
Oh no, it's fine.
That's 3 essence. Oh, helps if my sheet wants to tick. And I have to roll with study. So,
Sorry, tell me again the power. I missed that.
Impersonation.
Okay, gotcha.
So I'm going to mimic her voice, mannerisms, and appearance.
Sure.
Okay. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing.
Ooh.
Hey, that's a complete success.
Oh, heck yeah.
All right.
Not only am I doing a good impression of Sandy, I'm gonna go around and be like, oh, did you sign the birthday card for Tim?
As you sort of come around the next corner, you see her coworker is already sneaking for the door. And it looks like the door he is sneaking towards leads out into the same hallway that is that central doorway.
Okay.
So if you let him, he's gonna open that door with his key card and just go right out and leave her behind.
So sorry. Why am I trying to get to this coworker? Just.
Oh no, you just see him.
Did they see me?
Yeah. No, he hasn't seen you yet. You came around the corner, and he is sneaking the other way and just trying to get out from having to work for another 2 hours.
Oh,
Like
this is
if
the
you
one that wants
pretend
to
you
leave,
don't see
right?
him, he's just going to leave.
Yeah, so he'll just
Okay.
leave unless you say something to him.
Yeah, I mean, less eyes, he can leave.
Okay. Yep. He swipes his card and it beeps, and then he starts to turn around to see if anybody's behind him. And do you want to like duck back or?
I'll
Wave bye.
wave bye. Like, bring back coffee. You better be going on a coffee run. I guess I'll let him go because I don't really know how I'm gonna get everybody else back in.
So, I think since she had already kind of said the opposite, you might need like a sway or something to get him to trust you because he would probably think that it was out of character for her to be like, okay, you can go. After she was just telling him he was going to lose a level.
Yeah. I'll do a sway to be like, you have to make it up on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Make it up on Saturday or you lose 3 Jesus points.
We're gonna bump you down a level.
I'm going to say because of your form, that's going to be risky, but increased effect.
Okay. Can I put 2 willpower on that?
Yeah.
I will do that.
Ooh.
Ooh.
All right, another complete success.
Nice.
He says, "Yeah, I'll make it up to you, I promise." And yeah, he jets out the door, and you hear his footsteps going up the stairs.
Righty. How many more people are in this area around me?
Other than him, it's empty.
Oh,
People could come in through that testing door at any moment, but you assume that you would hear from the rest of your friends, your coven mates, via telepathy if anybody tried to.
Mm-hmm.
this rate, I'm gonna telepathically say, guys, make your way over to the door, and I'm gonna bring her taser.
Okay.
My attempt is to see if we can like short circuit it or do something.
All right. Yep, the door is completely unlocked. It's open to the public, so
Oh,
the main door, the testing door.
okay. He
But
went out through the testing door, or he went out through the main
no,
door?
he went
Sorry.
out through a side door that led directly into the hallway from the middle door.
Okay.
So basically, the testing room was shaped like a C, and you were able to come in from the outside and then re-enter the residential section.
Okay.
So, all right. But you do notice that there are cameras everywhere. Not inside, but on the outside of the building. So...
I'm going to go through the testing door then, and then I'm guiding them through to look like they're participants. Or that's at least the attempt.
Yeah, I think Yarrow and Hollis are going to instantly cause alarm by their heritages. So, if anybody's watching those security cameras.
You said there was security cameras on the outside?
Yeah.
So since we have such like a thing with electronics, can I go ahead and like climb up the wall to one, like alacrity up to one and just touch it? Like just try to mess with it and see if I can just override the security cameras just by being magical.
You'd be way more likely to knock them out by actually physically destroying them, but you could get lucky and your anti electronics stuff might, it could work.
I've never been good with the electronics.
Yeah.
So.
I was telling
this would be the one time.
I was telling Andrea, it's not like a cell phone would never work for you, but you wouldn't want to rely on having one in a bad situation, especially when you have other options like telepathic bond. You could probably make 10 or 15 good calls with a cell phone before you might have any problems with it, but when you do have problems, they can go to catastrophic pretty fast. So,
well then,
yeah.
I'll change tactic a little bit and try to brawl them down.
Mm-hmm.
Could I give Yara the taser and they can use the parts for something?
Yeah. Isabella mentioned gremlins do your thing. With if you were an eclectic, you have a little more control over your gremlins, so you can make them better and worse. So that might be something to consider. But it's generally outside of the grimoire of Arcanus. But a custom power of like unleash the gremlins could be really interesting for Yarrow. It seems like it's very much in her wheelhouse.
Our word gremlins.
Our word
Gremlin
catastrophe.
Yeah, I think I will just try to alacrity and brawl them all down and just see if I can knock them all down with my horns or hooves or something. Just like kick them all as quick as possible, which will be fun.
So yeah, this building is this big V-shaped building. There are cameras. The cameras that would easily spot you going in through the testing door are relatively within reach by alacrity. But there are others that are up on big like lamp posts and stuff that you're also going to be caught on. So just taking out one isn't going to necessarily get you completely unseen, but it could get you part of the way there. So I'm going to say it'd be.
Jean could melt them.
Yeah, I think I might just that might be good to try to short circuit them all together.
Gotcha. They're probably connected by some underground wires if they're not wireless, too. So another potential point of attack.
It's like, oh, how would I get underground? Just like try to touch all of them underground. Just reach in the ground as hard as possible and just wires. No. Pulls up the whole city block wires. That's fine.
So how many cameras
Yeah.
might catch us on the way in the building?
You can see 3, but there are lamp posts all throughout the parking lot, and you can't be sure that they're not wired up as well.
Okay.
The ones on the lamp posts are camouflaged; they're hidden. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Elise is also very noticeable as far as they know what Elise looks like. I was gonna say I could just say screw it. I'll grab Hollis Alacrity in because I doubt they would catch me on the camera.
I feel like
But
Just follow you, darling. I have Alacrity
Yeah, I
as
was
well.
gonna say I think all of them have Alacrity at this point. Does Hollis have Alacrity? Okay.
No.
I forgot about that.
But Harless has Helm of Darkness, so she could just.
Yeah.
We're just used to Hollis grabbing onto my horns and we go.
So yeah, that's an option. That could at least get you all in through the door, and then you don't have to worry about cameras anymore.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I'll just pop an essence and be like, Hollis, just grab up the horns. Let's go.
All right, I would say if you want to do that with Hollis, that's probably going to take a roll of some kind. Otherwise, Hollis could just Helm of Darkness and become invisible. Just wander, walk right in.
You want me to roll like a brawl to hold on?
I was thinking brawl or finesse might make sense.
Yeah.
I've been using brawl because I think it's more fun. Just to hold on real tight. It's kind of like putting Yarrow in like a stranglehold to hold on.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's like, don't drag me.
All right.
Grabs my little chest hairs that I always try to hide.
I'm imagining like how when a kid sits on like their parents' shoulders and it's just like Hollis hanging on the antlers and like legs wrapped around the neck.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
It looks very much like a wrestling move.
I'm going to say risky standard for that. And for the two of you, it's just 1 essence.
Gotta go fast.
That's a complete success.
Also got rippers out.
No whiplash. All right. Now that you are all inside the building, I'm going to say let's take a quick break, and we'll come right back with the interior. Be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Nightsky Sanctum, Season 2, Episode something like 15. It's in the description of whatever you're watching. And we are back. Nightsky Sanctum Coven has just infiltrated the headquarters of Corpus Templi Solaris and to try to get Ribert back from what it appears he has been taken here because their ritual brought them here. So, but they are all in the testing center area of the building on the first floor. Seth is currently impersonating the what name did you give her? Sandy.
Oh, I just called her Sandy.
Yeah, impersonating Sandy, the desk attendant. 504 gateway timeout, according to the top of my screen. That's interesting. Some part of our stream has decided it doesn't want to work, so it is giving a 504 gateway timeout error. That's fun. It's not. Let's see, alerts. Okay, it's trigger fire. I wonder if their site went down. Oops.
What is trigger fire?
It
for?
is a yeah, it looks like their site's completely down. So I will just hide that. It does our Hand of Fate and all that stuff. So apparently it's down again. So nobody waste essence on Hand of Fate or Arson because they are not going to work right now. Actually, if you do them, I'll just pick one at random. Okay, so the pendant that Hollis was using seems to have run out of juice. Now that you're here, it has pointed the pendulum.
Oh, pendulum.
Yes.
I was like, what?
And but they do have an exit into the central hallway. So what would you guys like to do from here? Oh, and how far are we on the Ribert clock?
We're halfway. We're 3 out of
Okay.
6. Well, I think I did a lot of talking already, so it's time to give someone else a turn.
Darling, we're trying to rescue your frog.
Yeah.
It is acceptable for you to be so in charge.
That's true, I guess.
All right.
Now that everybody's got their peepers on the inside, everyone else have an idea.
Well, since the pendulum ran out, we need a different way to track/pinpoint where he is.
Does my sense resonance somehow, could it possibly work with sensing familiars and the resonance of him?
Yeah, I think his resonance is very much unique. If he passed through an area that you go through, I think you could definitely. Let me roll a fortune die for Isabella, who did a Hand of Fate, and then I will show the result. There it is. Awesome.
Hey.
I see. Let's see. 2 men dressed in what look like security uniforms, with guns on their hips, walk down the stairs and go straight out through the main set of double doors. You hear them talking about taking a smoke break and that there's nothing going on anyway, so they're just going to take a long smoke break, and it doesn't matter that the monitoring booth is going to be unmanned for the next few minutes. Thank you for that,
Ooh.
Isabella.
Quick, let's go.
So yeah, I think I'm gonna try to sense like where he's been. To do that, I think I'm just gonna like hit my horns like a tuning fork, and just see if I can vibrate at his resonance and see if I can like get it to get me going the right way. Almost like dowsing and tuning forks mixed together.
Awesome.
Nice.
Okay.
Some of his resonances.
We have one of those too. Ours is black, but awesome. Yeah, I love that sound. All right, yeah, you can make a roll on that.
I think that would be a focus roll for sure.
I think that makes perfect sense, yeah.
I'm gonna pop 2 willpower to give me an extra die even on top of my 2.
Okay. And I'm gonna say it's risky greater effect.
Okay.
Because of his unique resonance as a chimeric familiar.
All right, well, fingers crossed. And toes. And hooves.
Okay, partial success.
Oh, I'm glad I popped the 2 willpower. At least got
yeah.
partial.
Okay. Okay.
I would say I probably just get a shaky kind of feeling.
Yeah. So I think you you get up to the top of the stairs of into the second level, and you can see a room marked security office, and then another hallway. You can feel your horns are kind of pointing you further up the stairs, but you kind of stop there for a second, and the ringing just comes to a stop, and you reach up and touch it, and you've like put a hairline crack in one of your horns from from hitting it so hard. So you might want to try something different to get you any further. But
all right, darling, we'll fill the cracks with gold.
nice. But it is pointing you further up.
All right, base that. Everybody relays that. I'm like, all right, we've got to get up these stairs now, guys.
Should we deal with security before we rush off to get the frog? Whilst we have the opportunity.
Ooh, yeah.
We could check and see if he's on camera anywhere.
Yeah, you could split the party, and some of you can go into the security office, and some of you up.
Yeah.
Seems dangerous, but that makes it more fun.
Yarrow's just reckless enough to be like, yeah, I'm just gonna go up.
Steph's going with Yarrow. Both reckless, both charging up.
Okay. All right. Security room door does seem to be locked. It's a sturdy metal door, a single door on a frame. The building is concrete slab, so pretty solidly built. But you do notice there is definitely enough room under the door for like a fly or something.
Or it could. It's just a regular door, right?
Mm-hmm. Security door.
Before I run up, can I just use Arcane Supremacy and unlock it?
Yeah.
There we go. And I think that's just 1 essence.
Sounds good. All right.
And yeah.
What does that look like?
Yeah. Sorry. I was trying to see if I had to actually roll for just the unlocking door, but I think it's fine if it's mundane. So yeah, I pop up and I lift a hoof and I'm like, I think it's about right there, and I just like tap my hoof real quick where I think the lock is, and get the tumblers to just fall out.
Nice. And the door just sort of slides open or swings open a couple of inches, and then Yarrow and Seth throw themselves up the stairs. And yeah, you can see the glow of a dozen or so monitors in an otherwise unlit room.
Another depressing security room.
And they're all that way.
We seem to find ourselves in security rooms a lot.
There are a couple of computer chairs in here, and a coat rack on the wall.
Well,
lockers.
Perhaps we should look for the frog on the screens and then make an effort to debilitate the entire system.
I like that.
Okay. All right. Maybe a survey to just get a quick look at those cameras and see what you can see.
Survey makes sense.
As a group?
I suppose well, it's just Hollis and I, right? The others have rushed off. Then I suppose as a group, as in the two of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So group with a leader, or does one person want to roll and take an assist from the other?
I was gonna say maybe Hollis could give an assist because I don't know, she's short, so I'm trying to like seeing all the screens might be difficult for her anyway.
She can only look at the bottom screens.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
maybe she can play with the keyboard and see if there's any other cameras that you have to like push buttons to get through.
Okay, so you want to like use the system?
Yes.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, she destroys it, which is
okay.
what we want eventually anyhow.
Yeah.
So the big red do not touch buttons.
Do you want to just do that as an assist, or do you want to do that as like a study roll?
Yeah, I'll do it as a study roll.
Okay. All right. In that case, you can both roll your rolls. And the intent is the same, more or less?
Yeah, I'm going to pop some willpower.
Okay. I'm going to say risky standard on both rolls. That's a complete success.
If I am using survey, I should pop some willpower as well.
Okay.
Because I'm not very perceptive. Somehow. I'm prescient, but not perceptive.
Okay. Okay. So, I think, Hollis is flipping between cameras that Elise is trying to study.
Elise has had far too much to drink.
and every time Elise goes to like focus on a camera for a second and get an idea of it, it switches to another view. But Hollis is like, oh, I've got this, and bringing all the cameras up into view and everything. And you see that one of the security guards has come back into the building and is heading back into the room. And as he's walking up the stairs, he's like patting his pockets like he's missing something. And he's just jogging right up the stairs toward the security office. And
oh no!
But you also see a camera that when you click to it, it says camera not available. Whenever you try to bring it up, it says camera not available. And you get an intense feeling that they're hiding something there.
Can we get an idea of what room that camera would be in from the way the system is laid out?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. The like numbering system of them is pretty obvious. It's like floor, room, and then like a letter that designates like if it's camera A, B, C, or D or whatever.
Okay.
So yeah, this is 157C is the camera.
157C.
157C. So, based on your knowledge of the cameras, that's floor 15, room 7, camera C is the one that's blocked.
Oh my god, well, do we know where an elevator is? Because I am not walking up 15 flights of stairs. Not in heels.
Yeah, there should be. They do require a key card, but they are available from every floor.
Well, that security guard is coming up here. I assume he has a key card.
I'm sure he
He's
do, unless
all
that's
by
what
his-
he's looking for.
He's all by his lonesome.
Yeah. Oh, and you hear his key card beep as he swipes it on the door, and
Oh,
then
marvelous.
the door starts to open, and you guys can take an action.
I immediately make an attempt to grab him by the throat and blow smoke into his mouth.
Okay.
So I can cast a mental takeover on him.
Okay.
And find out where he
called
puts his key card.
Okay. He
Hollis
still
is
has
just
it.
gonna hiss at him like a cat.
As he's coming through the doorway, he still has his key card in his hand.
Well then, forget the mental takeover. I will psychic impulse to make him give it to me.
Okay. Any roll for that? I can't remember.
It says action plus 1E. Doesn't specify what. I'm not sure whether focus or...
I think handing you a card would not take an action roll from him. So, yeah, he just does it.
Nice.
He hands it to you and then blinks twice and is like, "Why am I doing this? And what are you doing here?" And then he sees Hollis and he pulls out his gun.
Oh dear.
How far away are Yarrow and I at this point?
You guys have climbed an additional 3 stories.
Okay.
Since they went in the building, in the room.
Don't worry, he's stuck in here with me.
Yes, I mean...
Hollis is scrappy.
The only issue here is if we can resolve this without attracting attention. Whether we can resolve it isn't really a concern.
Yeah, and I assume Hollis sent you the mental image of 157C.
Yes, absolutely.
So I assume you guys can be on your way if that's where you want to check out.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So what do you want to do about this security guard?
Well, I could make him stop, but if Hollis would like to attack...
I mean, Hollis always wants to bite people, but I'm a little worried that, yeah, it might cause a lot of attention if he starts screaming and flailing and bleeding everywhere.
How dare.
He is raising his firearm and probably going to take a shot soon.
Well,
That's
then
gonna
I
make
should
noise.
attempt to...
You're gonna
I
cast
suppose...
Welcome.
Well, I
Kaji.
suppose I could... I'm thinking psychic impulse again, specifically to tell him that he should go take a smoke break.
Gotcha. Okay.
He'll be very confused once he goes out there and realizes he already did one, but...
All right. Oh, Kajit is here from the Facebooks.
Oh, hello, Kajit. Do you have wares for us? We have coin.
Yeah, we do indeed. I'm going to see if Trigger Fire is working again by refreshing our... It is not. Okay. All right. Let's see, what do you want to use?
I'm not sure whether focus or I think focus would probably be the most reasonable because it is a spell.
Yeah, makes sense to me. And he's already inhaling the smoke from your cigarette, so quite easy to make this swap.
But
So,
if this fails horribly...
yeah,
Then I'll bite him.
I'm gonna say desperate standard effect.
Right. Well, fingers crossed. For you, Hollis, not for me.
Oh, okay, that is a complete success.
Nice.
Right. And, okay, so yeah, you can describe what happens there.
So Elise blows the smoke into his face, and he inhales it. And as if almost like clockwork, he realizes that he craves some more. And that he hasn't gone for a smoke break. It's as if his mind forgot the last couple minutes where he went out for a smoke break, and is now deciding that he needs to go out for a smoke break. So he holsters his gun and heads back out directly the way he came. Sans his card.
Okay. All right. And you guys shut the door behind him, or just I assume it just swings shut.
Head to the elevator.
You gonna follow him?
I don't really think we need to be here anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. I think unless you wait for a minute, it's there's a chance he might still see you. So you might have to like prowl or something.
I mean, we can wait for a minute for him to get down the hall.
Yes. Well, I'm not that impatient.
Okay. All right. Yeah, in that case, the door shuts. You hear him take a couple of steps, and then he stops, turns around, comes back to the door, tries the handle, and then reaches for his key card, which he does not have. So you hear him curse several times before he runs back down the stairs. And you hear him saying, God damn it, I forgot my smokes and my key card.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Oh crap, he left his cigarettes in here, didn't he?
And the other guy wasn't being helpful and didn't let him bum one, so yeah, that's why he came back up.
Elise very rapidly looks around the room to see if she can find them.
Yeah, they're right there in his jacket pocket. So yeah.
Perfect. I'm going to swipe them.
Okay.
Add them to your notes.
Oh no, I'm just going to. They're going to be smoked by the end of the session.
All right. But yeah, that gives you a few moments to go to the elevator. All right. Do you guys just want to meet up together on the 15th floor?
That's what I was going to ask. Are they just going to like ride all the way up and make us climb the stairs?
You're gonna do this is a kind of bustling place, so I'm gonna do a 2-die fortune roll to see if either of you groups encounter anybody, with the likelihood being that it's Seth and Yarrow that encounter somebody on the way up.
No.
Oh damn, that's a fail. So as you are getting to around the 13th floor, you see a smooching couple outside of one of the rooms, and at first you're like, yeah, we're gonna have no problem getting around them, but then they break apart from each other and are like, no, I have to go. And one of them is going to be coming toward you in a mere moment. So you'll need to either move fast or find a hiding place or something like that.
Like a person.
Well.
So
Oh yeah.
I look like someone that works there already, so I'm in a decent scenario.
Yeah, you could just remain visible. How about you, Yarrow?
Well, I was either gonna be like, let's alacrity the hell out of here again, because that's just my favorite thing to do, or I could be like, Seth, turn back into an octopus so you're deaf.
I'll be Goop. I'm gonna turn to Goop. Goopy octopus. I'm gonna be like an octopus and just stick onto Yarrow.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, because I figured we should just alacrity out. That might be the safest option to get there quickly and then meet up at exactly what floor Elise and Hollis are at.
Awesome. Okay. 1 essence, and I'm gonna say since Seth is an octopus again, she's not gonna have any trouble hanging on to you. All right.
Should I do anything to like give an essence to Yarrow, or like, do I need to do willpower because what Yarrow's now carrying me? Do
Nah,
I need to...
you're so sticky and small. You are no trouble for her. It's not like having an entire Hollis. All right. And so the two of you make it up to the 15th floor and are standing right in front of the elevator when it goes ding. And you see Elise and Hollis step out. All right.
Like, all right, now let's
Elise
find
is
the
just
room.
very, very aggressively chain smoking.
Crap.
You're all just coughing. Ugh.
All right.
All right, now we gotta find room 7.
Yep. Room 7 appears to be at the extreme extent of the hallway that you're on right now.
Of course it is.
Yep. So
So you
all the way out at the edge of the wing. Probably the room that has the most windows and, probably the nicest room on the hall.
Ooh.
Said the building is V-shaped.
Yeah.
So is it like the section inside the V is chopped out, like it's an actual V, or it's more like a triangle shape, and like the V was just like where the doors were?
Yeah. The I don't I'm trying to think of the
Like
best
if it's
way
like
to
a peak,
Yeah.
or if it's like a triangle.
So you've got the elevator shaft is kind of in the center. That comes all the way up, and then there are two hallways that go off to either side. Rooms 1 through 7 and 8 through 15 or something along those lines. So 14. And yes, shaft, exactly. And then behind that elevator, there's an actual additional section that's like conference rooms and things like that, and some of the bigger industrial areas. But yeah, it seems to be residential down both of the wings. All right.
Thank you for clarifying. I was having a hard time picturing the floor plan.
Yeah. Yeah, and every floor is a little different the way it's designed as far as the back area, but you can pretty much assume from the layout of all the floors you've seen coming up here that probably the wings of the V are similar at the very least.
Okay.
All right.
Right, so I figure we'll make our way to the door and see if it's locked.
Okay. Who's trying the handle?
I'll try the handle.
All right.
I'm just like, let's get this frog, let's go.
All right. You give the handle a little bit of a jiggle, and it seems to be unlocked.
Oh. I don't trust that. Not at all.
Seems sketch.
Do I sense any resonance in the room at all?
I think that's gonna call for a roll.
I probably a focus
That works
or
for me.
study.
I'm gonna say risky standard on a focus as a gather information. Partial success. There is definitely some resonance coming from the room. Not only can you sense the resonance of Ribert, you can also sense ongoing magic on the other side of the door. You get an intense prickle on your neck, and just shivers go down your spine. It's definitely not the kind of magic you're used to feeling.
Interesting.
Definitely
Well, that's
doesn't
interesting
match
because I was
any
immediately
grimoires.
going to be like, do I have to see what's happening to try to dispel an enchantment or something that's being cast? Do I have to see it to do it?
You could probably just try to wildly throw some dispelling magic in there, but
I am very reckless and very unstable.
I would say it'd probably be reduced effect to just kind of do it generally, and has a kind of wildish feel to it, so it might result in, on a fail, it might result in something that's similar to a wild magic complication.
Okay. Could I increase my my effect with my alacrity?
Like by rushing into the room and then doing it, or
I did it so quick. As soon as I sensed the resonance, I just instantly tried to dispel.
yeah. So alacrity is usually for physical actions rather than magical actions. Um, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No.
I'll just go ahead and I'll just go ahead and try to dispel. I always forget it for some reason about the alacrity and only being physical. I don't know why. Because it is a physical move.
You can spend some additional essence to increase your effect level. Or you can spend extra willpower to increase your dice or effect level. And of course, you can always take Fey bargains to increase your dice as well.
Oh, them Fey. Let's see. I think it's a focus roll anyway, plus 3 essence, which I'm gonna knock 3 out of my horns anyway.
They're a little shattered. It's just kind of eking out anyway.
Yeah, so we're just gonna we'll pop that, and then I will pop 2 willpower and do the for an extra die on my focus roll.
Okay.
And I think we'll just do that.
All right. So, desperate reduced effect.
Okay.
And that is a complete success. So, reduced effect wise, I think what that means is that whatever is going on in there has been set back significantly. It hasn't been completely canceled, but if they had like candles going, those candles have been blown out and need to be relit, that kind of thing.
Somebody misspoke a Latin word.
All right. Yeah. So you utter the phrase and you feel you expel essence and kind of suck the magic out of the room, and you're like, okay, well, I don't know exactly what happened, but I think that went well.
It's like, all right, guys, I think I kind of interrupted something, but let's go see what it is.
Seth, you immediately feel a blade at your throat. And that's when you realize that it's not your throat. Ribert is starting to become conscious. And now that the whatever they were working on has been partially dispelled, they've decided to physically threaten Ribert.
Dissection time, no.
You feel like he is being swaddled. There is gentle cloth wrapped around his entire body. And his eyes are still, he's still a little out of it. So everything he sees is fuzzy. So you're having a hard time getting much from him. But you also now get that feeling, the flesh crawling, prickles on the back of your neck feeling. There is very dark magic afoot here.
Now
They're
that,
going to turn him into a prince, those bastards.
now that I have some kind of connection with him, now that he's awake, am I being affected at all by his kind of groggy state? Like, am I getting residuals from it?
A little bit, but you're sort of, just to the smallest degree.
Still not as wiped as Elise's with, how many drinks in her now?
Almost as many as she has fingers.
You said there's dark magic afoot. I would like to use Otherworld Omens.
Okay.
See if that's helpful.
Yeah. Let's just I'll do a 3 dice fortune roll for that.
Okay.
Oh yeah. There is a spirit that is at the threshold of their magic circle, that is very close to ready to come through. And all the other spirits in the area have been very are being very like oppressed. They're being like pushed out to make room for whatever this powerful thing is that's coming through, and it's the only spirit you can sense. It has kind of elder god energy.
Oh no. Oh no.
Well, that's nothing new.
Where are we sitting at for? Because we were at 3 of the clock for River. Now that he's awake, are we further up?
We can cancel him. You guys are here, so yeah, they didn't get to complete their ritual with Rivert before you got here.
Okay.
Were they trying to Eldritch God Ribert?
Yep.
He's so
Summon a frog
little.
god.
How do you fit that much Eldridge in such a small boy?
Interesting choice.
But they were smart. They wrapped him up in cloth so they didn't get anything on him.
Well, we've handled Eldritch gods before.
What would you like to do?
Yeah.
They're kind of they're aware that at least somebody that is a witch is on the other side of the door.
I'm gonna spend an essence and grow my finger talons.
With cutaneous talon.
Cutaneous. Yeah.
Nice. All right, a razor sharp talon grows from your fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Well, do we bust down the door? Just run in.
I
mean,
think that's
it's
usually
fine.
the best solution.
Yeah.
Reckless one asking the other reckless one, "Do we barge in?"
Let's march in. It's like Jarl just flings open the door.
And I'm still in your head at this point, so I'm like, "I'm down. Let's go."
Yeah, that's like just a big satyr with an octopus tentacles out the head.
They're
I
like,
am the Eldritch God now.
Cthulhu, you're
Oh
here.
my God.
You're a lot shorter than I expected, Cthulhu.
Well, Seth could indeed turn into an eldritch abomination.
Mm-hmm. He's done it before.
Yeah, make them believe they completed the ritual.
Oh my God.
Mm.
That'd be cool.
Like, we're here for the frog now. You can let go. It's fine. We're leaving.
He's calling out. Yeah, I mean, I'm down to do that if we want to.
Okay.
So that's. I have the Eldridge Worm Monster, and I have Kraken Ink, so I can do either one. Both are tier 4.
You would need to get inside the room first.
Yeah.
To be because neither of those will fit through the door.
Yeah.
Oh crap! I'm outside now.
Oh,
Is
crap!
Yarrow hopping in the room, or like?
Say it again.
Because I'm on. Is Yarrow hopping in the room because I'm currently on Yarrow right now.
So yeah, if you want to wait, and you can feel free to like plan what you want to do, or you can just do it all and then just do it all at once.
I think maybe like instantaneous. I fling open the door. Seth just transforms off my horns and flies in. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So like, do you want to use alacrity?
Maybe a group spring. We both spring.
Yeah. Alice could probably get in on that, being so short.
Yeah, sure.
And I could definitely lead it since I'm the one that's going to be like yanking the door open.
Okay. And what's the intention?
Basically to just surprise them, like pop it in, like to just make it look like Seth has appeared and their ritual completed.
Yeah.
Okay.
and apparently she has minions.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. In that case, I think we pretty much only need Seth to roll then. If everybody else is just like assisting effectively.
Oh yes, I'll smoke the entire pack at once and just exhale a giant
Make
plume
an
of
elastic
smoke into
band
the
around
room.
it.
Like a fog machine, I'll just rapidly
Oh my
smoke.
god, you got one like between each finger, you're just.
Elise is gonna get lightheaded for once.
Adding to my notes, Elise chain smokes again. Okay, so am I rolling for the spring as well, or am I?
You're the main springer,
Okay, sorry.
and either Yarrow or Hollis can give you an assist. I think Yarrow makes more sense.
Yeah.
So that'd be +1 die.
Carol can like give me like a whip or whatever.
And this is to convince them that you are what they summoned.
Okay.
Is that the idea?
Yeah.
With a spring rather than like a sway.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just make it so sudden they don't
the
have time to
sway
think.
part is they look like an eldritch
Yeah.
being.
I'm gonna say desperate, because you know they have a knife to Ribert, and reduced effect, because the form that you're taking does not necessarily resemble the form they expect.
So sorry, you said I have to add a die.
Yep,
Next
you
time.
get an extra die from Yara.
And would it be overkill if I popped 2 more willpower?
For increased effect to go up to standard?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, not at all.
I mean, standard is definitively not overkill.
Yeah. You could also pop an essence to do dire form, and that would probably make you look even more like what they expect, and I would say that would give you increased effect as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Did I ever give Seth the tentacle from Lucifer?
No, but you should. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, I would say like if possible,
Yeah.
like maybe
Flashback.
before like we left the Covenstead when we first got it, like I'd given it to her.
Yeah.
Downtime flashback action. Yeah, okay.
Turned into a Lucifer, what was he? A
biblically accurate jellyfish.
It's like ribbons of like eyes.
Yeah, ribbons and eyes and tentacles and
All the good stuff.
yeah, that sounds pretty eldritchy.
Alrighty, so here we go.
That is a complete success. Okay.
My boy!
You watch in slow motion as you spring into the room while shapeshifting, and you see a drop of blood come running up from, because Ribert is hanging upside down in the middle of the room. You see a drop of his blood run down his chest and down his cheek and drop into the center of the circle. And just at that point, you land on the ground right in the center of their magic circle, displacing the 5 robed figures that were conducting the ritual. And they are all shocked and flabbergasted and have no words at the moment. You can take another action if you'd like.
What? It's just, what do I do now? Okay.
So you are if I remember right from what they looked like during season 1 when you got this form, this was a 4-legged beast, about just a hair smaller than an elephant, but you're a dire form version of that, with tentacles writhing around on its face, that it was able to extend up to like 20 or 30 feet to grab a hold of things and pull back. And then a big voracious mouth that's currently covered by tentacles, but when the tentacles splay out, it kind of has a big, kind of like a mix between a dog mouth and a beak, that it's able to shove, like, probably a smallish person into its mouth, without having to bite. So probably could, like, swallow Hollis up to the belly button, head to belly button in one bite.
Okay.
In its current dire form. So yeah, the floor is starting to sag a little bit in the center of the room where you're at, but that just adds to the magical nature of what's going on.
Yes, I thought this was a concrete building.
Can I say I'm
Exactly.
chonky?
Chonky. You may.
So you said I dispersed the 5. Does that mean they've just jumped back?
they've
Or
fallen backwards. They're all splayed out around the room. Ribert has fallen back with the one that was in the process of stabbing him. So
I'm going for him right away.
okay. What do you want to do to him?
Well, Ribert's gonna be in his hands, so I'm gonna avoid the top half.
Okay.
So I don't want to launch Ribert, but with this terrifying dog beak, teethy tentacle mouth, I think I'm gonna eat him up to his kneecaps if I can.
Okay. That'll cost you another essence to keep dire form on for another action.
Yep.
But yeah, definitely doable.
I don't know if that would be more of a spring or a brawl, because I've fallen back so they see me now, but I am attempting to just kind of like quickly get them.
Yeah.
So yeah, the surprise is gone.
Yeah, I can see either. Your tentacles kind of spring, as far as being able to grab things with lightning speed.
Okay. And in that case, I'm going to attempt to do a spring to grab him and om-nom his legs.
Okay. I'm going to say, because he has Ribert, we're going to stay desperate, and I'm going to say you stayed dire form?
Yes.
Increased effect.
Popped an essence for that, so... Okay.
That's a partial success. On desperate, a partial success could include such things as major damage. I'm going to say he is going to try to flay Ribert as he is being consumed. You can resist that.
I would like to resist. I have multiple tentacles, so maybe I just try to swat his hand away rather than try to grab anything.
Okay. Yeah, I think that would be a prowess resist. Okay. Or I could also see insight, whichever you prefer.
I'm good with either one, so if you have a preference, I will roll for that.
I think prowess sounds good for your current form.
Well,
wow, nice roll. Okay, that is a complete success. Ooh. So it costs you no willpower to resist that effect. He does manage to stab Ribert for level 1 harm before you are able to tear Ribert away. So you'll just take level 1 harm, and you're...
Stab.
Yeah, you have a stab wound to your neck.
Okay. That's been added to the sheet. Okay.
And now you have Ribert in your tentacle, and you are noshing this cultist. While the other 4 are scrambling to their feet. And
It's my turn to bite one.
Yeah. You see them
I
all
want to.
scrambling away from you guys and toward, like, one of them's going toward a bathroom, one of them's going toward the kitchenette and stuff like that. But yeah, go ahead.
I just want to get my teeth into as many as I can and use my Death's Blessing add-on where I can what's the word I'm looking for? Not melt. Decay. I can decay them.
All right.
Wither them.
Where at are you doing the bite? Or do you have a preference?
I don't really have a preference.
Okay. Whatever
Wherever
you can get your mouth
my
on.
teeth on them.
Right, and you're doing this against one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it'd be a brawl for right now.
Sounds good.
I need to take Malefaction.
Now that Ribert is no longer on the chopping block, I'm going to say we're down to Risky.
Okay.
All right. So, Risky Standard.
Okay. Let's see how that does.
Or actually, kind of Risky Greater because of your magic effects. Okay. Partial success on Risky. I think you're still getting used to having your razor claws, and so you end up like slashing up his legs as you're like crawling up him to get a good bite in, and you've done some like cosmetic damage to him, and you're climbing on him, and he's like partially pinned to the ground, but you haven't got that bite on him yet.
Okay.
You could do a prowess resist if you want to just go for him.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Prowess resist. Hold on. There's 4 things in each one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, exclamation point up to 4R. Unless you're Elise and you have a resolve of 5. Okay.
She's very resolute.
That's going to cost you 3 willpower. So you end up...
Shit.
Yeah, you end up, like, shredding him, and he's nearly dead from blood loss by the time you get to him to do the bite. But then you're like, I want to see this. Where do you chomp him? He's on the ground, so you pretty much have him wherever you want him.
I'll do it on his face then.
Okay, awesome. You
Ooh.
chomp down on his face, and then after, what is it, sort of like venom, or does anything come out of you?
I guess it's more of like a saliva thing.
Okay.
And yeah.
Yeah, you see it work its way into his system. For a split second, he gets like almost a flush of life, and then it just crumples, and he starts to age rapidly, and his skin starts to like cling wrap to his bones, and his musculature weakens, and you watch as he almost turns to like mummified right in front of your eyes. And it starts, it's mostly on his face and neck and chest, but it slowly works his way to his feet as well. And he lets out one last gasp into your face and then dies. All right.
Bottle that last breath up, Hollis. Take that with you.
Ooh, yeah, I like that. Little jar, yeah, magic components to take people's last breath as a component. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, who else wants to take an action? There are, there's one bleeding out from Seth, and Hollis just killed one, so that leaves 3 more.
Can I just yell out for everybody to stuff their dang ears? Let's go. Let's try it again. Let's see if we've gotten any better.
Sure.
I'm just like, everybody gird your loins.
Fingers crossed.
All right.
I'm gonna just try to do the word of power die. I'm just gonna try like as long as everybody we have is just covered, we've all got our covered little ears. I'm just gonna just shout as loud as I can the die. And I'm gonna cover my ears as well. Like I have cotton for this now, okay? I'm carrying cotton for our ears for this now.
Have you considered just getting good at casting spells?
No. Nah.
Get good at witchcraft.
That would make me a more stable person.
You know what? I never got good at witchcraft either. I just decided to pick up a gun.
Yeah. My favorite spell is just shouting.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to spend some additional essence, you could probably get all 3 of these that are still here.
Yeah, I still have 3 of my. I have plenty of essence. Let's go. How many essence should I pop additionally? Because it should be 3 for die already. So I would guess that'd be about per person, maybe like 5 or 6.
Yeah, 5 sounds good. You hear this strange mechanical noise. Sounds like a can opener, but really, really big, really loud. And it's coming from the back half of the living room, just around the corner.
Well, what
Very
is that?
large can.
It's just bathroom. There just someone's making soup.
Yeah, Darl thinks nothing of it. She's just already got her breath in.
All right.
She's like, I don't even know what that.
All right.
No time to think, just yelling. Okay, so let's see. I think that's a focus roll, yeah.
Yep.
And I will do 2 willpower to increase,
Okay.
not increase, but another die.
Lydia was right. Well, opening a can of whoop ass.
Nice. Right. That's a complete success. What does that look like when they are told to die?
Yeah, so literally I just yelled, die! And then everybody, they start grabbing their ears and then basically their heads explode. Because they cannot take the resonance of the sound so much, it just vibrates their head apart.
Nice. All right.
I'm just becoming a sound witch, it's fine.
Sound. Nice. Okay. Yeah, you hear something large and metal hit the floor in the other room.
The soup.
Good soup. Yeah, that was the cauldron of soup.
It's the animatronic from the 2nd episode.
Ooh.
They're back.
Malachor is back. And badder than ever. Okay. Elise, there's still one alive, but he's been eaten up to the kneecaps.
I feel like Elise probably doesn't want to get her hands too dirty at this point. I mean,
sense.
Looking in at this rather horrifying scene.
Yeah.
And she's just been sitting there with a drink and a cigarette. I honestly don't imagine she would do much at all. In this case, perhaps she would head towards the source of the sound rather than attempting to further mutilate this last individual.
Okay.
Yeah, we might want to keep them and ask them what they were doing.
You definitely feel like whatever eldritch thing was trying to come through the portal, that is not happening anymore. That energy has been dispersed.
Good.
Those are never fun to deal with.
That makes Eldritch's 0 us 2.
I think it's more than that.
Yeah, I was
really.
gonna say maybe 4. I don't know. Maybe even that Lucifer thing counts as +5 or something. So.
The old gods had nothing on us.
No.
All right. All right. You hear from around the corner the sound of mechanical servos firing, and a person yell, "Yeehaw!" And
no.
you see a mech come around the corner.
How do they have mechs?
Because they're rich.
No,
The
but,
bastards.
who built that?
Yeah.
It's a cult.
Yep.
They probably just never understand how a cult does anything.
And you hear...
Indoctrination.
Yeah. And you hear a turbine-style gun starting to wind up.
Oh my god, they've got a minigun.
Yeah.
They've got Gatlins? I don't know. I don't know about this.
All right. Seth is definitely the biggest target right now. So, what do you all want to do? They had a plan B. For when
I mean, we could just set the place on fire and leave as quickly as possible.
True.
Yeah, this is Tom Cruise's personal mech that they
Oh,
borrowed
God.
from him. Thank you, Bloody Rose, for that one. They asked a celebrity for it. Nice. Oh, apparently Trigger Fire is working again because arson worked.
Fire time.
So has the mech only seen Elise at this point, or has it seen everybody?
It is coming around the corner, so it hasn't seen anybody yet.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
do we even have to deal with it? Can we just like go?
Yeah.
Instead of open fire?
If you run fast enough. Well,
We all-
Yarrow and I can certainly just go.
Mm-hmm.
It's whether everyone else can escape safely that's more a question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, who wants to take an action or cast a spell?
It might be worth the giant creature taking an action in this instance. After all, that's sort of the roadblock for us escaping as well. Whether we go on the offensive or the defensive, I think Seth's going to be at the center of it.
Yeah, because of the extreme size.
Mm.
Okay. I'm gonna look over to Yarrow, be like, hold my frock.
Nice.
Oh, Yarrow literally just opens her little front pocket, like, I will protect it with my life.
Aw.
And I think, I think I'll just try to, like, charge at it.
Okay. You want to go dire form?
Yeah, I'll pop another essence so I can keep this dire form up, and then I'll do a brawl roll.
Okay.
My intention is to get close enough to get to the point where I can use tentacles to tangle
Okay.
and like, tip it over.
Mm-hmm. If you just get, like, right on top of it, it won't be able to use its guns on you.
Oh, okay. Go for that.
Roll sounds good. That's going to be desperate standard effect because you're in dire form.
Okay.
Okay. So I think since it was charging its miniguns, as you came around the corner, it's opening fire on you. And that is going to result in level 3 harm as you approach.
Okay.
You can take that, or you can prowess resist to try to shield yourself from some of it. Or
Sure, let's try a prowess resist.
Okay.
Oh, it's the wrong one.
all right. Oh, damn. Okay. You find this, like, bar that you dodge behind, and the first few bullets miss you, but it sort of strafes across the bar, and it turns out the bar provides you more or less no defense. The bullets just penetrate the bar with ease. You still reduce the damage from 3 down to 2.
Okay.
But you are feeling weakened. But then it, runs out of ammo, and you are able to leap toward it.
Level 2 shrapnel shot kind of thing.
Yeah,
Shrapnel.
probably a dozen
Okay,
or so
good time to
bullets
mention that
embedded in you.
I power left.
You have what?
I have 1 willpower
Oh
and 3
no!
So, okay.
So you leap onto it, and you're.
Oh shoot! I could have done enigmatic form. But too late now.
But if you would have gone into enigmatic form, you would have been outside of your.
Oh yeah. Dire
you would
form.
have lost your dire form and your and the mythic transformation. So it kind of would have been not a waste of essence, but yeah.
Yeah.
So at least now you're still in this extremely big and bad form. Your tentacles slam against it, but you're not really, penetrating the armor. You can see the person inside of it that's piloting it. They're, bulletproof glass, some thick bulletproof glass away from you. So, if you have something strong enough, you might be able to penetrate that and, one tentacle inside there and they'd be done for. But in your current form, another thing you could do is, just try to escape the area or, bust out a window and go out the window. And you can just fly away.
Or you could just throw them out the window.
If I can't get in, I can just cover the glass up.
Bloody Rose said,
We can't see my friends.
Cover the glass in blood, and in this case, it'd probably be your blood, but...
Just use a tentacle to push up where to smear the blood around. But I'll do that, since I can't think of right now how to get in, but I think the reaction would just to be, I can't figure out how to get in, just blind them. So I'll cover up the glass while it's reloading, and then that could potentially have everyone else kind of have
spray ink all over it.
Okay. All right. Okay, so yeah, you are sort of grappled with it, preventing it from being able to see effectively or fire on you. It kind of stumbles backward and, it's like having a hard time gaining its balance with all your weight on it. Okay. I'm not going to call for a roll for that. I think that sounds like that would work. Anyone else want to take an action while this thing is semi-incapacitated for the moment?
Yeah, I want to make fire.
I'm trying to think if I brought Jean. It's like if I brought Jean, we can just be like, Jean, self-emulate.
Yeah, I figure I will do a large invoke Tartarus and set as much of this floor of the building on fire as we can. So I kind of want everybody to get to the staircase so that we're moving away from where all the fire is going to be before I make the fire.
Okay. All right. So I guess Elise and Yara?
Well, once the fire's lit, I'm going to light one of these cigarettes, but at this point, I think Elise is basically just waiting to make the escape.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess with Yarrow and Elise and their abilities, they can pretty much go whenever anybody says go, so it's more of, I guess, Hollis maybe start the spell and then once it's ready.
I mean, I could go to the bar and see if there were any bottles that haven't yet been shot up that I can throw around to get some more flammable material around the room.
Yeah, the Tartarus fire doesn't... I mean, it'll catch other things on fire, but
it doesn't need it.
Yeah, it doesn't really need it. But, yeah.
So you said there were big windows?
There are, yeah. This is a nicer, bigger apartment than the others, so it has sort of in that living room area has sort of a wall of like floor to ceiling windows that are like 6 panes.
Is the mech in the room with the windows?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, can I attempt to throw myself and the mech out the window?
Yeah.
Because then I can call Aran and fly away, and the other two can run really fast away. And yeah.
Okay. So that sounds like maybe a Seth action first.
I can try to break the window so we can all try to like escape out of this window. Yeah, so while I'm still tangled up with this, would it make sense for a brawl action if I'm using my weight to kind of swing the mech around to try to propel us to smash into the window and fall out?
Yeah, I think brawl makes sense.
Okay.
I'm gonna say because of your particular position where you're on this guy, it's gonna be only risky.
Okay.
Standard effect.
Take a bargain as well, since I'm like so close to just timing out over here.
Say it again.
Can I take a Fey bargain as well?
Sure, for an extra die or increased effect.
Yes, please.
Or
actually, increased effect.
Okay, I was gonna say you can also do dire form to get increased effect for 1 essence.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Okay, so Fey bargain for an extra die.
Yeah, I'll do Fey bargain for an extra die, and I'll pop essence for increased effect.
The blood left behind by Ribert is going to be used as a future material component.
Okay, so they're going to have access to his blood for the future.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure I have notes. Okay.
Let's yeet this mech.
Mech.
Risky greater effect. +1 die.
Okay. Here we go.
That is a partial success. So on risky, that would be reduced effect. So I think what happens here is you hurl his body into the glass and he breaks the glass but then regains his balance.
Okay.
So there is a hole large enough for him to go through it. He just hasn't gone through it yet. You can prowess resist to go ahead and try to force him out of that hole as part of this action.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do that, whether it's I'm still on him or I leap off and I'm in the hallway and kind of do like a bounce where I ground wall and launch myself at him, so full force just launches up the window.
Okay.
So we'll try to
If
do
you
that.
roll anything under a 6, you will trauma out.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, dear me.
Here we go. And you said prowess, sorry. Prowess resist?
That is a critical. You regain 1 willpower.
Something other than a 6.
It is, that's true.
Okay.
Alright, you regain 1 willpower, and rather than having to spend 1, so now you have 2. And you get to describe what it looks like when you get him out of the window.
Okay. So after the glass didn't break in the first instance, Seth is going to use their crazy eldritch body and hop to the opposing wall and use that as kind of like a bounce board to get momentum and launch them both out the window.
Nice.
So now the rest of the glass is shattered and we're just tumbling through the air towards the ground.
All right. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, you are both tumbling through the air. Because he went out first, he is a little bit ahead of you. But you could sort of air swim to him if you wanted to get to him. But Yeah, you two are plummeting toward the ground with excitement.
The ground is rushing to meet you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's delighted.
I don't think I will. I don't want to push it with how far I am right now, so I might just shapeshift into like a seagull and just kind of glide my way down and like watch as he's falling, because I don't want to risk getting crushed under him or him grabbing onto me
Sure.
and putting me underneath while like to break his fall.
Awesome. All right, yeah, you turn into a seagull and veer off, and yeah, you're eventually blend into the other seabirds that are around, and no one is any the wiser. And you watch from a distance as he continues to plummet toward the ground and slams down in the middle of, well, on one of the edges of the parking lot downstairs where you were just at before. He gets impaled on one of the light posts.
Nice.
All right. How are the other three of you getting out?
Well, now that there's a hole, I'm gonna call Iran.
Okay. Yep, Iran flies down from the roof, and you use your power. What's it called? Familiar writing. That's right.
But I'm gonna make a fire first.
Okay.
Make sure to set the place on fire. It's concrete, so it won't do much, but...
There's stuff in here to burn.
Oh, yeah.
It's hellfire. It's not like normal fire.
It's just to really prove a point.
Yeah. Plus, it'll get you more Coven XP.
Exactly. So I will invoke Tartarus. And I'm going to spend 2 essence
Okay.
to make it a little bit bigger than standard, just to kind of wipe everything out of this room. And that is a focus roll. Let's see how well this goes.
Partial success. Okay. I think the fire starts pretty close to you, and you're trying to get it to spread in the other direction, but it kind of you're not going to be able to stick around to watch it burn very well.
Yeah.
But it is going to continue to burn. But you see fires start to spring up in the other nearby rooms as well.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna jump in Iran and fly away.
All right.
I'm gonna get in a car and fly away.
That'll cost you an essence.
Okay.
All right, Yarrow and Elise.
I'm gonna alacrity out the window and down the side of the building.
Oh, damn. I'd say that's probably going to cost 3 essence to get all the way down the building safely.
Okay, perfect. That's what's left of my horns.
I am going to follow suit just because, well, I don't want to get separated from the rest of the group, really. And because I can.
All right.
Although I might have to take off my heels first. I don't know if I can really alacrity down the side of the wall in heels. Although she's doing it in hoofs, so...
Yeah.
It's magic. You can do anything.
Just gracefully fly down the side.
I am rolling a fortune roll because Yarrow looks like Yarrow coming down. So once you end up in the parking lot with all the commotion, there is a chance that other people, are not excited about your continued existence, and that bubbles over to Elise as well, even though they wouldn't have known Elise was a witch coming off the side of the building without having seen Yarrow first.
But
So
they might have known if they saw her coming off the side of the
Yeah.
building.
but they wouldn't have been looking when Elise came off the side of the building. So, yeah, this security guards are trying to pin you both down around the edge of the building with by firing their weapons at the ground near you.
Let's see. I have one essence left. Can I try to use greater telekinesis to fling their weapons out, and so we can just like
Yeah.
pop off?
Yeah, it's 2 security guards, so I think 2 for 1 that works. I'm gonna say risky standard.
Okay. I'm just gonna rock with my regular 2, and we'll see if my focus goes. See how hard I can focus.
All
Yeah.
right, complete success.
When it's life or death, Yarrow can focus.
Where do you want those guns to go?
Literally just as far as possible. Like I'm just flinging them just to the like.
All right, one cracks somebody's windshield. The other one lands in the parking lot and slides under one of the cars.
I just look at Elise. Let's book it.
Yep.
We just both disappear.
In a puff of non-existence. All right. Yeah. Within mere moments, the 2 of you are able to blend back in with the people of Midnight, and nobody sees you make your way back to your boat, and or unless you all want to meet back up at the House of the Ram. Since you all have telepathy, that's completely up to you. House of the Ram or back to the Covenstead?
Yeah, we need to get to a veterinarian. They were slicing up that poor frog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, House of the Ram might also have some medical help.
But do they have a veterinarian?
That's true.
House of the Ram has that really special, nice thing where if you hang out in their basement for a while, it heals your wounds.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sleepover.
Just for the frog. Well, and I suppose the frog's witch, who now has wings that are all shot up.
Mm-hmm. Very hurt. Awesome. Toasty Toad is now following. Perfect. If you missed the rest of the episode, go back. This has been a very Toasty Toad episode. So, thank you.
We did manage to avoid the toad getting toasted.
That's true.
We did.
Boilers.
All right. So if you want to do Drawing Down the Moon at House of the Ram, Ranch of the Ram,
Ram Ranch.
then you could do that at -1 die. Otherwise, you could just but I will give you 1 level of healing as a freebie. So it'll reduce all your wounds, but your current wounds by 1 level. Yeah.
I didn't try coming in last time, so I probably shouldn't do it.
Toasty says they're going to watch the VOD. We also upload these to our YouTube. So youtube.com/balsamic games. If you want to watch it in high quality and be able to skip around a little bit and stuff. Skip the commercials. Not the commercials. We don't do commercials here.
Right.
Skip the breaks. Yeah. All right. But yeah, we look forward to meeting you and talking to you, Toasty Toad. I will post our Discord link so you can come join us if you enjoy what we do here. All right. All right. Who wants to do Drawing Down the Moon? And are
I feel
you
like it's
guys
been a minute.
down with House of the Ram?
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as, I mean, I know a lot of people used a lot of essence and a lot of willpower today,
true.
so.
I think you're muted as it one.
Azalin may be muted.
What was?
Oh no, you're not now.
Oh.
Okay.
No.
Your face looks so expressive. We thought you were talking.
No, I don't. No, I'm just expressive. Like I'm confused now. No.
Sorry.
All right. So who is doing Drawing Down the Moon, and what does it look like?
I haven't done it in a while, and we're at House of the Ram.
Yeah. They're good friends.
So
Seems quite appropriate.
yeah. Yeah, I would assume they all would kind of gather around to watch how it's going anyway. So
Yeah.
so yeah, basically I would guess they have a courtyard or something of the sort.
Well, they have that nice underground chamber that they use. Yeah, you can when you summon the moon, you can see it. You can be inside places.
Okay. So yeah, so we're like down in the I would say the big downstairs there, and I kind of walk around everybody and just start clapping my hoof as I walk around everybody, and I'm just trying to like basically like doing almost like a rain dance but for the moon as I'm clapping down the moon basically.
Nice.
And as I pass everybody, I'm just kind of like doing my little spirit fingers, and I'm trying to like put on a show for the House of the Ram, like with the dance and everything.
Nice.
And it's just a fun little dance around, and the sound of my hoofs just reach a big cacophony of sound, and then it slowly settles back down as we all recover.
Nice. All right. Yeah, everybody can reduce your wounds by 1 level. So all level 1 wounds drop off. All level 2 wounds go down to level 1. All level 3s go down to level 2. And
Hard for me because I have the vital form, which automatically bumps 1 down.
yeah, so
I
you
can
can
move my 2 to 1 and then get rid of the 2, or just count one of them.
let me double check. For vital form, let's see. At the beginning of each downtime, instantly heal your lowest level of harm. So it's actually not going to help very much alongside this ability because it happens at the beginning of downtime.
Okay.
Alright, so that's going to be !2 DDTM.
Ooh, yay!
That is a partial success. That is going to be restore 4 essence and 2 willpower for each member.
How perfect. That's precisely what I had.
Really? Wow. That's not the first time that's happened. Yeah, this might be a good time for a greater ritual Sabbat
Yeah.
from all the damage Seth took this time to get Rivert back. But all right. Well, that is the session, and I think we have been skipping downtime actions for several weeks now, and I think we're to the point where people need to recover enough that we might actually need some downtime actions. Just to a little sort of background information on other things that are going on right now. You have saved 2 of the exiled liches, Achak and Wapanaha. The one was exiled to the underworld, along with his demon boyfriend, and the other was exiled to the shadow world, which existed directly above your Covenstead. They both seem to have the same problem in that they can't spend any extended time around mundanes or even witches because they tend to cause you to break down on a cellular level from being too close to you for too long. So that's been a problem because they have a lot of knowledge to give, and they're very good, useful companions and allies. They're also finding it very difficult to acclimate to this new world. They were exiled for over 400 years, and so they're acclimating to 400 years of changes. The factions that rule here are completely different. The fact that it's nighttime all the time here is different than what they were used to when they lived here before. Some names have changed, but the bagels are much better. So, yeah, and then, so, those are all things that they're having to become accustomed to. And there are some other things that are going to also probably cause some problems that we'll discuss, that we'll discuss as a group and figure out how we want to do those. So, if anybody wants to... Oh, also, the one that was trapped in the underworld, Achak, had been spending the last 400 or so odd years researching prophecies. And they have made it apparent to you that they think that you are implicated in some of those prophecies. Specifically, yourselves, though not named or described, but the 13 children that you saved do appear to be a part of the prophecy. However, as
You're going
of...
to have to go get some of them back.
Yeah, 2 of them are currently back with their families. But the interesting
Kidnapping you.
thing...
We can just invite them for a sleepover.
Right.
Oh.
But the thing that has come out of that prophecy is that your group no longer qualifies for the prophecy. And that is a very strange thing, because apparently people have been fighting long and hard to make this prophecy come true or not come true. And right now it looks like the prophecy is not going to come true, because 11 of the 13 children have lost their ability to use magic. And so how therefore can they become the greatest witches to have ever lived, and to upset the order and the balance of midnight? So that is something to consider. It also means that the keepers of the old ways are now no longer hunting you, so we're going to reduce or increase your status with them by 1 level, because they no longer see you as a threat.
It's interesting, because I recently developed a certain animosity towards them.
Yep. So that is
My
something
goodness,
to
they're
consider.
as bad as the Order.
Yeah. All right, and with that, I think that is all the official in-game news that I have to impart on you. And with that, let's let everybody know where they can find us online and what we're up to. We'll start with Morningstar.
Well, if you want to find me online, you can just look up the Cytherian on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. That's mostly the only places that I'm active. And currently, we are working hard on a special Lord of the Rings themed project that should be coming out quite soon, as everyone knows what character I most like to cosplay there. That'll give you a hint at what we're doing. And Megan has some spectacular editing ahead of them to finish those.
Awesome. All right, Megan, go ahead.
Hi. So, like Morningstar said before, we have something exciting coming up. We've been doing a lot of costume and prop work in order to get this done. So now it's just up to the editing. So hopefully we can get something cool going on there. We release content every Friday on the Morningstar specific channels, and we have things midweek as well. If you want to find me, I've recently started a Instagram page by the name of Seafoam Workshop, and that's going to be silly, cheeky edits, behind the scenes, advertisements for here, for our Nightsky, Sanctum, and Balsamic game stuff, as well as just whatever kind of Morningstar content I find that I think I might be able to do, and potentially tutorials in the future. I'm working at getting some better screen capture software, thanks to Robot Rainbows. Thanks for giving me some info. But yeah, if you're interested in any of the stuff that we're doing, like I said before, we release every Friday, and we hope to keep you guys engaged, interested, and energized.
We are always engaged, interested, and energized. So thank you. All right, Zelwyn.
Well, you could pretty much find me at Azalea anywhere you want it. That is just my name everywhere except for on TikTok. It's under Goddess Azalea, and usually we're just really chaotic and creative, and you never know what's going to pop up on our stuff. So if you're in for creative chaos, that's where to follow.
Awesome. And Andrea?
Yeah, I'm Andrea. You can find me on, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch at Wildwood Witch. And I stream on Fridays from my channel that's brand new. So please go give me a follow so I can get some cool, just like emotes and in-game fun things that I can do.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna start streaming more randomly. I'm gonna be playing games throughout the week, so just if you want to know when I'm streaming, you're just gonna have to follow and find out.
Yeah.
And Fridays is gonna be more for our paranormal activities investigation type things. This week we're gonna have our spirit box set up, and I'm going to go through how that works and how we prepared to use that and all the things I did to lock my house down before we did that. And yeah, so just a lot of cool, fun information, and maybe we'll have some interesting activity. We'll see.
Awesome. Yeah, and thank you for your first time chat and the follow, One Ghost. Perfect timing on that. We had a ghost in chat at the exact same time we started talking about paranormal investigations. So yeah, we are.
They're following me.
Yeah, we're really, really excited about that. I put a link to Wildwood Witch in our Twitch channel here in chat. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that this week as well, because I'll be participating. And on Thursday, I will be running a special session of Children of Midnight Coven, the game you've been watching here tonight, for some of our Patreon supporters. So if you want to get special games that either I or Andrea will run for you, join us at patreon.com/balsamicgames. Get access to our Discord server, because we would love to have you. And yeah, really looking forward to that game on Thursday, because Andrea will be playing the first non-witch character in a Children of Midnight Coven game. She's going to be playing an agent of the Order.
Interesting.
Along with a group of wild witches who are getting dirty, dirty vengeance on another wild witch with the assistance of the Order. So that's going to be really interesting and has a big chance of shaping the sort of the future of the Children of Midnight world, because it'll definitely be something we have never seen before. And yeah, so several of our people in chat are going to be joining us for that game. Yeah, there they all are. As well as Mia, Robot Rainbows. Is that right? Yeah, Robot Rainbows will be on that one. I can't remember. Now I can't remember. Robot Rainbows has been in so many of our games recently. She practically felt like another cast member. So, all right. Well, this was a fantastic session, and I look forward to seeing you all again. Yay! Robot Rainbows is here. We've been talking about you. I'm sure your ears were burning. All right. And yeah, so we will see you all again very, very soon. And make sure to get your patreon.com / the_Cytherian as well, because that is the best stuff.
We do put some good stuff there, certainly.
Some good, but almost everything is way, way better than good. So
You flatter, darling.
But everybody that's here in chat right now probably already knows that. All right. So we will see you again. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a great night.
Ta.
Bye.